Hi everyone, Assalamualaikum. My name is Fitri Kurniasih. I'm from Mercu Buana University, and in this video, I will tell you about the difference of accrual and cash basis, and tax term, and after that, the impact of tax. First of all, accrual and cash basis. Accrual and cash basis is a method when we record a transaction in accounting. Accrual basis is a technique of accounting record which is record when a transaction occurs even though cash has not been received. Recording using the accrual basis will certainly be more accurate, and by using accrual basis of asset, liabilities, and equity are easily measured. And the cash basis is a method of recording in accounting which only record transaction if cash is received or distributed. So even if there are transactions that occur, for example, debt or receivable, however, because there is no incoming or outgoing cash, this transaction is not recorded using by the cash basis method. So the difference of accrual and cash basis is in accrual basis, all transactions record even the cash is not received. Meanwhile, in cash basis, the transaction just record if there is cash received and cash distributed. This is an example for adjustment to account in accrual and cash basis. For example, on 5 May in 2016, John Company paid rent of bookkeeping for 1 year in cash $600. $600. In accrual basis, we record it with prepaid rent to cash. Meanwhile, in cash basis, we record it rent expense to cash. And the second one is tax term. The definition of tax. Tax are involuntary fees levied on individuals or corporations and efforts by a government entity, whether local, regional, or nation, in order to finance government activities. Based on Undang-Undang Number 16 in 2009, definition of tax as a compulsory contribution to the state that are owned by private person or entities of a service nature based on the law without receiving direct reciprocity and used for the state needs for the greatest property of the people. The effect of cash is divided by two fundamental categories. Number one is cash cause an income effect because they reduce purchasing power to taxpayers. Number two, cash cause a substitution effect when tax cause a substitution between tax goods and untaxed goods. There are eight of type tax. Number one is corporate income tax. Corporate income tax in Indonesia use flat rate, which is 2,500 applies to net taxable income. Number two is personal income tax. There is personal rate from income tax, which is 5% for income to up to 50 million and 15% for 50 until 250 million and 25% for 250 until 500 million and 30% above 500 million. Number three is property tax. Property tax is usually based on the value of owned property, including land. And number four is payroll tax. Payroll tax is a tax withheld from an employee's salary by an employer who pays it to the government on their behalf. Number five is excise tax. An excise duty is an indirect tax imposed upon goods during the process of their manufacture. Number six is tariff on import tax. An import of export tariff is a charge for movement of goods through a political border. This tax the government use to protect domestic industry. Number 7 is estate tax. An estate tax An estate tax is a levy on estates whose value exceeds an exclusion limit set by law. Number 8 is sales tax. In Indonesia, usually sales tax is 10% and tax for service is ranged in 5%. The next one is impact of tax. There are three impact of tax, begin with direct impact, indirect impact, and impact for corporation. Direct impact, there are changes to the taxability of relocation related benefit, which will increase gross up costs. And the indirect impact, there are board changes in the tax law affecting all U.S. taxpayers, including tax rate, deduction, exemption, among others. Some of these some of these changes are positive and some are negative to taxpayer and the amount of tax they pay. And the third one is impact for corporation. The overall corporate tax has the overall corporate tax has declined significantly, with the top bracket declining from 35 to 20%, resulting in net positive impact and total expense for corporation. In Indonesia, there are three systems of tax collection. Number one is self-assessment system. Number two is official assessment system. Number three is withholding system. Self-assessment system is a tax determination system which imposes an independent determination of the amount of tax to be paid by a taxpayer concerned. Official assessment system is a tax collection system that imposes the authority to determine the amount of tax owed by the tax authorities or tax official as a tax collector to take to a taxpayer. And the last one is withholding system. In a withholding tax collection system, the amount of tax is usually calculated by third part. They are neither taxpayer nor tax official or tax authorities. So I think that's enough from me. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.